So you have named it Rama. Normally in places it's named as Govinda.
Govinda, because in Latvian language, Govinda sounds a little bit unusual.
Okay, so
because,
Rama is...
yeah, and Rama is also for Latvians that means peace.
Peace, okay.
Like Ram is that means peaceful. So we chose in our case word Rama. It's already open since 1992 for many years.
Okay.
But we had all the years we had only lower hall.
Okay.
And now we have also opened just upper hall. We made a staircase.
Okay.
So we can go there.
Please, let's do that. So next time
Please come for lunch, because this time it's just it's a little snacks, but please come for lunch next time. It's planned.
I'll be happy to do that, yes.
Arrivo!
Thank you, thank you, thank
So
you.
this is our head cook.
Okay, okay. So we have,
Please take a seat.
Nice.
The head of the table. So, sir, the organizer of this entire event is a lady who is standing right next to you but has not come up.
thank you.
She was the one also who initially with her husband when Soviet Union was falling apart. That's her husband.
Oh.
So
No, that's all right. You see, like normally when there is an auspicious occasion, there is some firing of guns to celebrate. So this is, you know, you did not plan for it, but I think the Almighty planned for it.
Sign from above.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And initially when Soviet Union was falling apart, and we were looking for a place where to start a new temple, and she and her husband, she found this place, and it was a long struggle until we got this whole property. And first one of our gurus, Gopal Krishna Goswami from India, he especially came here. He gave us blessings so that we start this project here. That was in 1990. So we are at this place already 12 years, 22 years since 1990. So this building,
You also see the presentation.
it's already more than 100 years old. It's an old wooden building. And during Soviet Union there were many flats, like the whole place, which is bigger rooms, it was not there, it was small flats. And over these years we have rebuilt.
This is written outside now?
Yeah,
Hare
it's
Krishna
now
Center?
Hare Krishna Center. It's lights when at night, because this is also the most busy tram line in the city and busy business street. So everybody who passes by, they can see that there is Hare Krishna Center. Also those people who come for charity, they can see that there is an easy place to find. They know where to look for it. If somebody needs a food, then they can find it. So we were gradually, like that some 3 years ago, we got into this building, and we gradually were...
3 years ago.
Like that's how it looked in year 2008, and that's how it looks now. We moved here already in 1990, but we were gradually putting it in order so that it looks attractive, so that people can visit. Like this is our charity mission working, like in year 2010. Like many people come because there is also another, like we are distributing free food which we cook ourselves, and also there is European Union aid packages. European Union gives once a month for people who are from like poor families. They can get grains, different like package of aid, and also members of our congregation once a week we are distributing these aid packages, and quite many people come. Every Sunday we do 8 packages in the morning. So,
8 packages meaning
there is food, like dry foods. There is some 3 to 5 kilos, dry milk, macaronas, grains, and then with the idea the person gets, and they have some basic ingredients for cooking which they could cook during the months. That is, it's also in different other European Union countries, but especially after crisis. In Latvia it's quite necessary. So these are some like basic places in the temple. So temple room, we were there, shop is there, the kiosk and downstairs restaurant, FFL, that's food for life program. This yoga hall, we call this upper place, that's where we are sitting now.
This one is yoga
hall. This one is yoga hall. Like so. And there is other side, there is classroom and then office. And upstairs there is ashram where brahmacharis, where monks live. And there is also second building where those who are married, they are staying, pujaris, they are staying with their families, those who do service in the temple. So this how the building looked like when we moved in. It was meant for actually decision was made that it should be torn down because there was fire before and it stayed for the whole winter without roof. The particularly roof was bad and that's how it looked like.
Oh, I see.
So, and then we came in and we told that we will save the building, that we want to save the building, and since then we were gradually rebuilding it and putting it in order. Because building itself is nice, but it was just, in Soviet time it was not nicely taken care of as many other places.
Maintenance is a problem.
Yeah, maintenance, and after fire, that's how it looked. Like when we initially moved in here, this is our first winter, when there was no proper heating, so we were bringing firewood from the countryside and then using it for heating. Beginning of 90s was quite wild time still here with Latvian climate, and that's how it looked before reconstruction. That's how this place looked when there were several smaller rooms, and that's when we started rebuilding it. That's how it looked like. So and then that person to the right, that's Gopal Krishna Goswami, that's one of ISKCON gurus who initially came here when we got this building, and now he's meeting with mayor of Riga city. That's when we also started our cooperation with our charity.
And this was in which year?
This particular meeting was in 1995. That's when we started to work together.
And where did this take place?
In city council. It was in city council. There was like that's when we were meeting. Was some time has passed since then. But they were very helpful also because we are doing a charity mission, and they helped us to move in, to make all the arrangements. Also to start, because at that time we also started to get also aid from India, from Europe, and also to make investments here so that center can be built. And this President of Latvia in 1997, his meeting when President of Latvia was visiting New Delhi, then he met also with President of Latvia, and they were talking about the development of that project. Like that also President of Latvia, he's receiving Bhagavad Gita when we were taking part in book exhibition in Riga. That's some historical events, and then some media articles about charity mission, like that's like it's called simple porridge, because generally kitchens they are distributing soup, but actually from nutrition point of view, person eats soup and then they in a couple of hours they feel hungry again. So we are distributing porridge or khichdi whenever we have a chance, something especially for Latvian climate. It is much more practical, and people are more happy to receive that. So media has been for many times describing activities of charity mission. That is something, and that's good. It gives some exposure so that people know where to come, and that there is always a place where they can receive the aid. Because generally also city council itself is doing aid program. But if people go there, then they have to have a proof that they are poor. They have to show the paper. But our principle is that anybody can come. We are not, our principle, if somebody comes, we should give them food. Sometimes even we have to cook extra porridge so that nobody goes away hungry, and we don't require from them any proof.
Es gribētu uztaisīt mazu prezentāciju, kas stāv uz galda.
Little bit. Nick, you wanted to explain what there is on the table.
Lai jūs varētu tikai reizi
So that you can...
Tas, kas ir ar balto tādu cukuru, tas ir ābolu samosa.
So that's sweet samosa with apple, yeah? Āboliem, yeah?
Un šitā, kas ir blakus, bet viņa nav ar baltu, tas ir ar kāpostēm.
With cabbage samosa.
This one is apple, this is cabbage.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Šitais ir ar špinātiem un panīru.
From Georgia, this is a special, it's called gutabi, it's with spinach and paneer. It's Georgian national food.
Un šis ir ar kartupeļiem un sezāmu sēkliņām. Tāds grūti.
Alupatra with potato, sesame seeds.
Un tie ir dažādas saldumi.
Sweet parts.
Cookies, yes.
Jā,
Some
please.
cookies.
Thank you very much.
Please.
Jūs runājat par ēdienu un ēdienu.
So we are talking about food and you can take food at the same time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please also join us.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you.
So, and now about, that's how it looked like when we moved in 1990. And that's initially how the Food for Life program started. It was, that was a time when Latvia was going through a very difficult period because Riga was a center during Soviet Union. Riga was a very important industrial city, had many big factories. That's why there is also such a significant Russian population because workers came to work here. But when Soviet Union fell apart, then most of factories closed down. So that was a very high unemployment. It was a very difficult situation for many people. And that was the time when we started this aid program. Now, of course, when the second wave of the crisis, when Latvia joined the European Union, the situation became better. But again, since 2008, it has been again very difficult. So that's how it started. First, we were doing from the main temple entrance. People were coming to the in winter time. So then we moved to that second entrance where we have separate place so that it's much easier for people to access it. Like first winters, that's how 100,000 meals were. First 100,000 meals were distributed. By now we have distributed over 3 million meals already. Population of Latvia is 2 million, but over the years we can say 1.5 meal per each person living in Latvia. So this was in 1993 also. City mayor was present there. We were doing official opening of the other Food for Life pavilion of entrance. That's how the place looked like at that time.
Prabhuji, just a moment, I would like to add that the Honorable Minister of Health, who we will be meeting today, has also come here and distributed food from the Food for Life downstairs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There was on 1st of December, there is International Volunteers Day. And different ministers of Latvian government, they were taking part in different events, and Circen, health minister, she was here. There will be shots of that also. Like that's how it looked before.
Maybe one day we can also request Excellency to come earlier in the Sunday and also distribute.
I'll be very happy to do that. Yes.
The program was happening also today, but we start a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you would like,
next time when I'm there, I'll be very happy.
Next time that would be very nice.
I'll be very happy to come. Yes.
Because that is definitely something that people need. This is like when we had 2.5 million distributed, or in first 10 years, it was 2.5 meals served. So different people come, starting from those who are homeless, till now, especially when economy broke down, then now many families also come, because especially if they have more children, and heating bills are very high in Latvia, so many people who are normal people, but they have to choose if they pay the heating bills, they don't have what to eat. So then they can pay for the flat, and then they can have, they take porridge along, and then they cook, add something at home. We do some khichdi distribution, and then gradually, thanks to donations, we were improving the program, getting new equipment so that it's up to European Union standards, and we can also distribute larger amount of meals. that's how.
And do the people come and eat here, or do they take the food and they take it away?
They take food along with them.
Okay.
If we have some special events, sometimes they eat here, but generally they prefer, they take porridge and then they can take it home.
And with the family.
And they can take with family, they may add something else so they can have a full meal with that. Like generally they come along, they come and they take food along with that. And sometimes we have special events, sometimes some of like birthday or some event in their lives and people they give a donation and then we make a cake, or we also bake bread ourselves.
I see, okay.
We make our own bread which we give to the people. We get some, so this is Hansa Maizniek's biggest bakery in Latvia. They are twice a week they are giving bread donations. They specially bake for poor people, but we also make our own bread. So, and then on Sundays there is European Union, that's how these 8 packages look like.
Okay,
okay. Now it was first year like that, now they're even bigger, now they added some other ingredients. So they come once a month, each person from poor family can get an 8 package. And since we are in the center of the city, we are the biggest distributors in Riga. Like amount-wise, Red Cross is distributing the most. They have many places in Latvia, but particularly in city center we are very.
In Riga, you are the largest.
Yeah, like we are very accessible, and everybody knows that if somebody needs an aid, they can come and get it here. And we also go out in other parts of the city. There are 2 other places, like near Central City Market. We were doing it for several years, and now in near one other market we are distributing also. We go here and then we drive out to people out in the city also. That's the other distribution place. Like then they don't have to use a transport. And then also there is a daycare center, biggest daycare center in Riga. We are also visiting them and bring food there, because on work days they have their own food, but on weekend it's not covered. So on weekend we also going there. And also like people come on weekend. And this was last Christmas.
Okay.
On Christmas then we make some special.
This is on just 2 months ago.
This
or
is
was
from,
it 2010?
This is one Christmas 2010, last year.
Last,
yeah. This in daycare center. Okay. This was program which was going on like this, like bread which we are distributing. Like sometimes people eat on the spot, and sometimes they take along. That is the distribution. And then we put information about different organizations, like banks. Biggest radio station is distributing, is giving out information every day, like about Food for Life program. And that's just this year we made an extra addition for storing food which we are getting donation. And this is like former president of Latvia. That Hansa Maiznieks, that's the biggest bakery in Riga, and they have an aid program, and they were giving awards for those organizations with whom they are cooperating, and they invited the former president of Latvia. She was for 2 terms president of Latvia, and that's him. He's getting.
Oh, I see.
He's getting. That one for. His voice who is like Zach who were doing distribution itself. That was that event.
Yeah.
And that's the head of that bakery and director. And that's Matej Nikirupa, is the president of Latvia. That was one event. And that's how cooking is taking place. And that's the most popular regarding cooking TV personality in Latvia. He is Mārtiņš Rītiņš. He is every week. Yeah, he's doing cooking shows. So on Christmas he came here to do like as a part, like he has normal cooking shows, and then he wanted to do cooking show along with a charity program. So he came here, but he came with his own porridge. He had his own special extra porridge. So people were very surprised that they had some unusual And that here, and that's the health minister. So that's Mrs.
this one,
Ingrid
this lady,
Citsina.
yeah?
She'll be signing the agreement from Latvian side.
Yeah.
So that International Volunteers Day, she was here in downstairs in Food for Life. I was doing.
When was this?
This like 2011, 1st of
2011.
December 2011. She was here.
Okay.
She was already minister there. Government changed in October or something like that. So
Viens tukšs.
yeah, empty. Pot is empty. That's how the program is going on. Yeah. So and then a couple of slides about vegetarian restaurant. You saw it downstairs. That's the lower hall, and we were gradually putting it like first they didn't have such a nice design. People were coming, but we made more like Indian, like Vedic style, like something more jolly, more bright. We
Yeah,
wanted to make
more
something-
attractive, yes.
Yeah, more attractive, so the people come more happy. So like, and now in lower halls they come when they want quickly take lunch, and now like particularly now, but we are opening these upper halls that they can have some meeting, stay for a longer time, or to have a birthday. Then we are making sandesh, barfi, some Indian sweets.
His Excellency, try it.
Yeah, I will, but first I'll take a little bit of this salty.
Yeah, please.
Can you make half of it?
You can have something.
So downstairs we made this.
Salt on
It's
this
all-
plate.
Iedomam ar ko sagriezt, viņš bija viena puse.
Yeah. It's all made by hand. All this painting.
Make my hand.
Yeah, made by hand. The wife of that man who was organizing the reconstruction, his wife, she's a very good artist, and actually she was working nights during day restaurant is open, and at night she was doing, it took several years to custom made tables, custom made walls, all the painting done. So that's our
Es saprotu.
kitchen. We are offering all the food we are offering.
This.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's okay.
It's all the food. Yeah, cooking some chapatis, puris. We are baking our own bread. Also, not using any.
The fruit lily.
Maybe for you? Maybe for you?
Also, we're using fresh vegetables, not like usually when in restaurants they tend to use vegetarian part. It's quite simple, but we use fresh vegetables,
This, my,
No.
cut it by hand. So that's the renovation of the temple room, how it looked before.
This one is
That
we
was,
went.
yes, that's where we went. Because initially when we moved in, we made a simple design, like simple way. But then for last 3 years we tore everything down and we rebuilt it completely to make it nicely looking, pleasant, nice, even floor like Siberian cedar, like good quality floor. And completely we just tore everything down and rebuilt it completely. Even the pillars were taken apart so that they are smaller and temple looks more attractive. So that's the renovation work which was going on. Now because today it's like the crown of it, like temple room, and then this smoke room in front of it, so that the project is finished. So your visit was exactly for us. It's a very jolly day for the
Right
whole.
time and I see
It's for us. It's very for the whole congregation of devotees. That is a very important event. Okay. So thank you, sir. So this is for you. The life of our tech. Today is a very special day.
Well, it's a very special day for us to be here. Thank you. So,
अभी वहाँ पे वापस जाएंगे होटल पे
time. It's good.
Please go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.